Ladies and gentlemen, please rise. Here in the College of Environmental Design, we always try to encourage interdisciplinary cooperation. And so, to sing the national anthem, we have a duet by Ivana Diaz and Efren Viernes. Ivana is a third-year Department of Architecture student. Efren is a third-year Department of Landscape Architecture student. And together, in a duet, they will sing the national anthem. Men may want to remove their cap and place their hand over their heart.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight on the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
You see, architects and landscape architects work together well in teams. Thank you, Ivana and Efren. Another round of applause, please. Please be seated. President Coley, members of the class of 2018, family, friends, and members of the ENV community. It is my high honor to welcome you to the College of Environmental Design commencement exercise for the class of 2018. The members of this year's graduating class are the last graduates from Cal Poly Pomona to complete their studies under the quarter system. The preceding graduates who entered the workforce have built a well-founded reputation for Cal Poly Pomona graduates landing on their feet, skills forged by the university's learn-by-doing philosophy, better prepared than their competitors from other schools to fulfill the obligations of a job in the real world. Now, some of the faculty believe that the fearsome discipline of the 10-week quarter taught you how to make a virtue out of the academic sprint of the quarter system. With only 10 weeks in the quarter, you had to analyze a problem immediately without wasting time. You had to dream up alternatives. You had to learn and deploy enough social skills to work in a team with other students who might not see things the same way. And you had to find a workable solution by the 10th week, even if that meant staying up all night before the deadline. But subsequent graduating classes will not have the pressure of the 10-week quarter to rein in their procrastinating tendencies. Will the 15-week semester really be that much more relaxed than the 10-week quarter? Well, call me idealistic, but I have full confidence that the faculty of your department will work the students just as hard under the semester schedule as they did under the quarter schedule. The main difference is that there will be 15 weeks of pressure instead of the current 10 weeks of pressure. At the end of the day, after the semester system is implemented this fall, the special value of a Cal Poly Pomona degree, especially the magic of a degree from the College of Environmental Design, still will mean that employers can count on Cal Poly Pomona graduates to land on their feet and be ready to outperform graduates from other schools. Maybe it's something in the water. Maybe it's something in the air. Whatever it is, members of the class of 2018, whether your new degree is in architecture, art history, graphic design, interior architecture, landscape architecture, regenerative studies, or urban and regional planning, you can have confidence that you have learned what it takes to design the future. And you have earned the right to call yourself a graduate of Cal Poly Pomona and the College of Environmental Design. In addition to marking the end of Cal Poly Pomona's quarter system, tonight's commencement also is significant because it marks the first time in many years that the university has allowed the colleges to invite a commencement speaker to address the members of the graduating class. A little bit later tonight, it will be my honor to introduce tonight's special guest. But in the meantime, President Coley, we thank you for this opportunity to invite a commencement speaker who will tell us about his personal journey from studying design at Cal Poly Pomona to a brilliant career imagining and imagineering the design of the future. Now, it gives me great pleasure to introduce the distinguished members of the platform party. I ask that each of them stand as I read their names, but please, audience, hold your applause until they have all been introduced. Beginning with the back row, our mace bearer and this year's recognized outstanding faculty advisor for the college, Dr. Wayman Lee. Our vice president, please hold your applause. Our vice president for university advancement, Daniel Montplaisir. Our ENV Distinguished Alumnus of the Year, founder of Lifescapes International and proud member of the class of 1952, Don Brinkerhoff. Representing the college in the Academic Senate, Professor Axel Schmitzberger. Our Associate Dean, Dr. Martin Sancho Madriz. Our guest speaker, about whom you will hear a little more a little later, a member of the class of 1980, Bob Weiss. Our Provost and Vice President for Academic Affairs, Dr. Sylvia Alva. Our President of California State Polytechnic University, Dr. Soraya Coley. Representing the California State University Board of Trustees, Dr. Silas Abrego. Our valedictorian and this year's recipient of the Julian A. McPhee Honor Award for Student Excellence, Ryan Shepard. And our senior class representative, Gerardo Rosales. Please, a hand for our platform party. Thank you all very much. Please be seated. I'd like to introduce a special guest, my wife, who is someone who is as big a fan of Broncos and as big a supporter of Broncos as a graduate of the University of North Carolina can be, my wife, Lori Dowling. And I also want to say a special word about Dr. Martin Sancho Madriz, who has been our Associate Dean for a little over a year. He has done such a great job as our Associate Dean that he's been hired by the Provost to be the Associate Vice President for Faculty Affairs for doing such a great job here. So thank you, Dr. Sancho Madriz, for doing such an excellent job. We thank you so much on behalf of the college. Next, I'd like to call upon President Coley for her welcome and introductory remarks. Please welcome President Coley.
Thank you, Dean Wu. What a great evening this is. And on behalf of our outstanding faculty and staff, I congratulate you, the class of 2018. I also want to thank CSU trustee, Dr. Silas Abrego, for joining us this evening. We are just so proud of you, and you should take great satisfaction in your accomplishment, but you know you did not do it alone. I want each of you to think for a moment about the people who helped you get here, your family, friends, faculty, staff, teachers, coaches, counselors, neighbors. Let's take a moment and offer them a round of applause. There are also people you might not know, including alumni and friends of the university whose support helped make your education possible. The best way to thank them is to pay it forward by someday helping others achieve their dreams. California will need 1.1 million additional college graduates in the next dozen years in order to remain the economic engine that it is. And the CSU can provide nearly half that number if it receives the necessary funding. Please help keep dreams alive for future generations of students who will want to achieve what you have done. Let your legislators and state leaders know the importance of their support to the students across the 23 CSU campuses, including Cal Poly Pomona. It is no small thing to earn a college degree. It takes perseverance and a sense of purpose. My hope is that you will carry the joy you feel today into the world of work or into furthering your education. And as you move in the next phase of your life's journey, let me share several essential lessons that I've learned. The first is to hold high expectations for yourself, set the bar high, and exercise the discipline needed to achieve success. The second is to take action. Don't let a fear of failure inhibit you. Move in the direction of your expectations, and you will succeed. The third is be persistent. Know that every failure holds a lesson and the seeds of success. The fourth is maintain options. Look for opportunities to grow and adapt to changes throughout your lifetime. And finally, discover your purpose. Your talents and your gifts are still developing. Be open to new experiences and make choices that align with your curiosity and your passion. In closing, I'd like to share these passages from a piece written by educator and author Dennis Kimbrough. May you develop a burning desire that is required of all achievement. May you stand up for the rights of others against the undesirable influence and threats of enemies. May you save your money so that you could pay your way in this world and yet be generous to those in need. May you forgive and forget those that may have harmed you. May you accept full responsibilities for the successes as well as the failures in your life. May you know that the greatest challenge is understanding. The greatest mistake is conformity. The greatest strength is faith. The greatest weakness is pride. The greatest day is today. The greatest word is thanks. The greatest among us is whoever serves. The greatest message is hope. And the greatest of these is love and empathy. Congratulations, class of 2018.
Thank you, President Coley. Now it is my pleasure to introduce Dr. Silas Abrego, a member of the California State University Board of Trustees. We're very honored that he's taken the time to be with us here tonight. Dr. Abrego.
Thank you, Dean Wu. It is my pleasure to bring greetings to all of you from the California State University. I extend congratulations to all of the graduates of the College of Environmental Design. As citizens and future alumni of the California State University, I encourage all of you to continue to support the university and its mission to advance the lives and improve our communities. Help keep the doors of opportunity open to those students who follow in your footsteps. You will soon learn the real benefits of earning a degree from California State University as you enter your professions, which depends so greatly on well-prepared CSU students, graduates. Be proud that you are joining the class of 2018 CSU alums as you cross the stage. As a graduate and member of your community, continue to support the CSU by helping those in need and letting them know how to pursue a college education. Show them the road ahead. Finally, be an ambassador for our system. Let your friends, colleagues, legislators, and community know how important the CSU has been to you and your future success. Again, congratulations and best wishes to all of you.
Thank you, Dr. Abrego, and please keep fighting for us on the Board of Trustees. Now, I would like to introduce the senior class representative from the College of Environmental Design, Gerardo Rosales, E&V Council President, someone who has been a familiar face, especially at a lot of landscape architecture events. Gerardo will come up and present the senior class gift to President Coley.
President Coley, Dean Wu, distinguished guests, and fellow members of the class of 2018. Every year, the graduating class leaves behind something for the campus community, a gift for future generation Broncos. It's about leaving the university better than it was when we first got here. This tradition succeeds every year because of another tradition at Cal Poly Pomona, philanthropy. Look around you now. For those of us wearing the senior class gift donor pin, these graduates have made an important investment in the future of our university. This year, our gift will be providing funding for the Emerging Scholars Program, a scholarship for students who are first in their family to attend college and who need the support. Fellow donors, thank you for your generous spirit. President Coley, I am honored to present this gift from the class of 2018.
Thank you so much, and class of 2018, thank you for the generosity and the impact that it will have on future generations of students. On behalf of them, I merely say thank you for thinking of the future and being a part of this.
Thank you, Gerardo, and thank you for all the students who supported this worthy cause. Now, I have the privilege of presenting the Julian A. McPhee Honor Award for Student Excellence, an award that the university has given annually since 2002. Julian McPhee was the founding president of both Cal Poly Pomona and Cal Poly San Luis Obispo. He provided more than 35 years of dedicated service to the citizens of California. Because of his visionary leadership and astute negotiating skills, Californians can point with pride to two of the nation's finest universities founded on the educational principle embodied in our motto, learn by doing. This special award was generously funded by an anonymous donor who was a colleague of Julian McPhee and who honors a current graduating senior who exhibits excellence in his or her academic endeavors. Now, it is my pleasure to present the Julian A. McPhee Award to the Outstanding Scholar from the College of Environmental Design. Had to make sure I had the right document here. Now, this year's honoree is Ryan Shepard, a student from the Department of Urban and Regional Planning. Please join me in welcoming ENV's McPhee Scholar for the class of 2018, Ryan Shepard. Ryan, can you please come up and join me here at the lectern? Let me say a few words about Ryan Shepard. Ryan Shepard is a native of Long Beach who transferred to Cal Poly Pomona from Long Beach City College 3 years ago. Ryan started as a foreign language and linguistics major, but decided on urban planning because he saw it as a pragmatic way to make the world a more sustainable place. Ryan has written an award-winning paper on Poland's immigration policies, and he's participated in Cal Poly Pomona's award-winning Model United Nations delegation last March. URP majors will recognize that the title of Ryan's thesis is a clever variation of Jacob Riis's classic book, How the Other Half Lives. Ryan's thesis is titled, How the Other Half Rides, analyzing safety challenges confronting female passengers using LA's rail transit system. President Coley, would you assist me in presenting this award? Now, let's hear from Ryan Shepard.
Well, Dean Wu, thank you so much for those kind remarks, and thank you all for that very warm welcome. First, I would like to thank my very hardworking parents, Scott and Oleski, for helping me get to this position. Without you, there's no way I could be commuting 60 miles round trip to Cal Poly every day. And to my dear sister for all your support that you've given me over the years. Next, I would like to thank my wonderful classmates, without whom I would not be here either. Thank you for suffering through all those laborious studios with me. I could not have picked a greater group of classmates to experience and learn urban planning with. And I've enjoyed every minute of seeing you grow and growing with you. Now, I believe that everyone within the environmental design disciplines chose to be here because we believe in building a better world for the future, not just in talking about it, not just in debating the issues, but in doing something. Sometimes, though, it may feel that our efforts for change are bound for failure, or perhaps they do not fulfill all of our expectations. Something I've learned in my time here, however, is that change is not found in a sketch plan, or a rendering, or a community vision. For these are merely tools to guide change, but change absolutely is found in the actions that you take. I've found the capacity for change-making in many of you. On a bus to Sacramento to fight for our right to an affordable education. In the art that you make to celebrate the world and to remember those who are no longer with us. In the resolve that you show to overcome personal tragedies that have come your way. And above all else, the kindness that you share with others and the world. In the face of complacency, cognitive dissonance, and political gridlock these days, even these small actions are revolutionary. The late First Lady Eleanor Roosevelt used to say, quote, "Peace begins in small places close to home," unquote. So, class of 2018, where is home for you, and where are those small places where you will cultivate a more beautiful, more healthy, more peaceful world? It is my sincere hope that you continue asking this question to yourself over the next many years in your future endeavors, whether you stay within the field of environmental design or whether you go outside of it. I sincerely hope that you reflect on this for years to come. Thank you so very much. I wish to extend a sincere congratulations to all of the graduates here tonight. I look forward to seeing you on the other side. Good night.
Thank you, Ryan, for posing an excellent challenge to your fellow members of the class of 2018. Each year at commencement, I have the privilege of recognizing individuals from the college community who have excelled during their academic careers. An award is given to a graduating student from each department who is recognized for excellence in academic performance, design capability, and contributions to the life of the department and the college. All have distinguished themselves as members of our environmental design community. As I read the name of each recipient, I ask that you hold your applause until they have all risen from their seats. Will the following students please stand and remain standing until all of the awardees have been called? First, from architecture, Anya Butsinskaya. Please hold your applause. From the Department of Art, Vicky Fang. From the Department of Landscape Architecture, Galina Novikova. From the Lyle Center for Regenerative Studies, Evan Green. And from the Department of Urban and Regional Planning, Courtney Kuchisi. Let's give them all a great hand in recognition of their excellence. Thank you, Anya, Vicky, Galina, Evan, and Courtney. Thank you. Thank you. Students, please be seated. Now, our commencement speaker tonight has had a spectacular career that has brought joy to millions around the world. Bob Weiss started with Disney's first international theme park, Tokyo Disneyland, then worked on the original concept for Disney's Hollywood Studios at Walt Disney World, the Twilight Zone Tower of Terror attraction, Disney's California Adventure, the Shanghai Disney Resort. Now, Mr. Weiss is president of Walt Disney Imagineering, where he is responsible for the present and the future of the Disney theme parks, resort hotels, and cruise ships. Just a few weeks ago, Disney leadership announced Mr. Weiss also would be in charge of Disney consumer products, including books, games, and merchandise. Beneath the mouse ears, Bob Weiss is still a Bronco. He is the driving force behind the annual ENV Interdisciplinary Studio Course named after Bobby Brooks, an ENV alumnus at WDI who died in a tragic accident. The Bobby Brooks Studio has enabled some of the best and brightest students in our college to be noticed and hired by Walt Disney Imagineering. Members of the class of 2018, please join with me in welcoming the president of Walt Disney Imagineering and proud member of the class of 1980, Bob Weiss.
Thank you, Dean Wu. And thank you, President Coley and Provost Alva, Trustee Abrego. I'm very honored to be here with all of you. I also want to recognize Don Brinkerhoff, this year's distinguished alumni. So, Commencement speakers have an impossible task. We're expected to be memorable, to motivate, to inspire. So before I say anything else, could we just lower your expectations? Coincidentally, that's exactly what you told your parents after the first quarter, I know that. But it truly is a privilege, not just to be here speaking on this important day, and not just to be here back on the campus, but to be here to say, congratulations, class of 2018. And I do want to congratulate all of your parents who are out there. And parents, and spouses and friends and siblings and all those people that have helped you. And parents, I'm sure that you've been struggling to figure out what exactly do your children actually do. Well, now they have a degree, and you still can't figure out what they do. But don't worry, the important thing is, now they'll get paid for doing it. Some of them will. Today I want to share with you two stories. First story is about a man who was fired from his multi-billion-dollar business that he himself built. He was a trailblazing designer. He started in a garage with a couple of people, and in 10 short years, he built a multi-billion-dollar global company. Then his own board of directors fired him. That man was Steve Jobs. We all know Steve Jobs because of what he built, but the point of this story is not what Steve Jobs built, it's how he did it. Not his products, but his approach. So after he was fired, what did he do? He built two more amazing companies. One of them was Pixar Animation, the creative powerhouse that transformed the film and animation business. In fact, that's the way I got to meet Steve, was when he was on the board of Disney. But it turns out making computer animated films is not exactly the same as designing iPhones, but still, Steve Jobs made a game-changing impact. How? Because his approach never wavered. He saw everything with the creative and visionary eye of a designer. That's the point I want to make. Your prize is not what you did here, as impressive as your portfolio might be. The most important thing you take away is a new way of thinking, a new perspective, painstakingly built along with your world-class instructors, a carefully honed, designed mindset that will serve you whatever you do. It served Bobby Brooks, my friend and colleague, fellow alumnus, and a Disney Imagineer for 18 years. Bobby passed away too soon, and so together, Cal Poly and Disney, we got together to build the studio in his memory. For 10 years now, Imagineers and students have worked together to support projects coming from a narrative design approach. And having been involved in that myself, I can tell you it's one of the most rewarding experiences I've had, and I hope it has been that for you also. The moral of my first story, no matter what you do, approach it with that great, creative, visionary eye of the designer that only you have. Don't waver, and I promise you will make a difference. Richard Saul Wurman, the founder of TED. I was lucky enough to meet Richard right here at ENV when he was a professor. And he once said, the fundamental failure of most design is its insistence on serving the God of looking good instead of the God of being good. That statement has extra meaning today, because today we face social challenges, the likes of which we've never seen before. As creators, you cannot ignore the imperfections of the world around you. That'd be like using watercolors on a brick wall or something. Your intention may be true, but once you dab the brush and apply it to the bricks, is it going to stick? Will it be good, or will it be good for the world? The next story is about a kid, a carpenter, and a cup of tea. I'm the kid in the story. Years ago, with my degree freshly in hand, I went to work in Japan. And I worked on Disney's first project internationally, which was in Tokyo. I was about your age. I'd never been on an international flight before. I was in a new place, new language, new culture, experiencing new people, and I was doing my best to look like I knew what I was doing. One day I visited a local wood carpenter and carver, a real artist. He was doing some contract work for Disney, and I was there to approve and oversee his work, which seemed silly to me because his craftsmanship was legendary. But I went there. He was quite a bit older than I was. I couldn't quite understand him. He didn't speak any English. I had some friends translating, but I managed to get in some hopefully very real compliments to his spectacular work. But he was not having it. He was irritable, he was grumpy, he had a big problem with me. I just got here, buddy. After all, there I was, this young kid there trying to tell this woodworking sensei what to do. Eventually, he calmed down, we sat down, he poured tea, and we drank it together. Then he told me that his shop was 1 hour from Hiroshima, and he had been there when the atomic bomb went off. And I, sitting there, was the first American he had ever met. It was a powerful moment that grew into a great relationship. And it was our craft that brought us together. Make no mistake, the career you have chosen has the unbridled potential to repair, to rejuvenate, to reinforce the best in all of us. That's what you have the power to do. To unlock that power, you must never lose focus on the community. Everything you create, a work of art, a building, a green space, a theme park, it lives in a community. So it's your duty to do right by that community, whether it be neighborhoods, cities, or nations, whether it be next door or halfway around the world. These days, the stakes couldn't be any higher. Infrastructure, homelessness, ecological stewardship, gaps in social equity, and the list goes on. But it's young artists and designers like you that give us all hope. You've already demonstrated your refusal to relinquish your community focus. Here's one example. During a 24-hour design-a-thon, some of you worked to create collateral materials for the Broncos Dreamers Resource Center so they could, congratulations, so they could better serve their community. Well, it turns out that happens to be our community, because at Cal Poly Pomona, there are at least 600 DACA recipients among you. We are craftspeople who depend on the richness of connections between us, between all of us. I've worked around the world with different people in different nations and different cultures. And you know what? It turns out building bridges works a lot better than building walls. But you're going to find out that for yourself in your own careers, in collaborations that you will find are fueled by diversity. Inclusiveness unleashes your creative power, and it enriches your work, and it always will. That's been my experience through my career, and it defined Walt Disney's legacy as well. Walt Disney at the time brought together a diverse group of creative and technical talent, built something that grew to be much larger than he ever could have imagined. The moral of my second story is this: you need not separate artistic convictions from your duty to the community or from your aspiration for commercial success. In fact, threading those goals together is both our greatest challenge and our greatest opportunity. Most of our problems were made by us. As JFK once said, no problem of human destiny is beyond human beings. I submit to you as design thinkers, as community caretakers, you are among the most equipped to imbue that statement with truth. Class of 2018, you have a lot to be proud of, and you also have a lot of work to do. Congratulations, best of luck, and I can't wait to see what you create.
For setting an exceedingly high standard for the next commencement speaker from E&V, let's give another round of applause for Bob Weiss. Thank you, Bob. Now, I will call upon Provost and Vice President for Academic Affairs, Dr. Sylvia Alva, to present the candidates for the master degree.
Will the candidates for the Master of Architecture, the Master of Interior Architecture, the Master of Landscape Architecture, Master of Science in Regenerative Studies, and the Master of Urban and Regional Planning please rise? President Coley, I present to you the 2018 candidates for the Master of Architecture, the Master of Interior Architecture, the Master of Landscape Architecture, the Master of Science in Regenerative Studies, and the Master of Urban and Regional Planning. These candidates have completed the requirements for the master's degree as prescribed by the state of California and the trustees of the California State University, and they have been recommended by the faculty of California State Polytechnic University, Pomona. President Coley.
Candidates for the master's degree, you have heard the recommendation of the faculty of California State Polytechnic University, Pomona. By the authority vested in me as president, I confer on you the degree of Master of Architecture, Master of Interior Architecture, Master of Landscape Architecture, Master of Science in Regenerative Studies, and Master of Urban and Regional Planning with all the rights, honors, and responsibilities appertaining thereto. Congratulations to you. We are so very proud. Please be seated until you are directed to the stage to receive your master's hood.
As we proceed through the march of the graduates, each graduate will have a photo taken by the professional photographers, and each graduate who turns in a photographer's card at the reader's table will receive a proof. Ushers, please take your positions to help direct the candidates. Candidates for the master's degrees, please rise. Each candidate should approach the stage as directed by the ushers with your hood folded over your left arm, stop at the reader table, proceed to the platform, and be hooded. Then recess down the center ramp and back to your seat again as directed by the ushers. I believe it is time for a card reader to begin reading the names, and the president and vice president and I should stand on the ramp.
We now present the candidates for the Master of Architecture. Christina Faye Younger. Alexia Garcia Obeso. Roland James Argomaniz. Alyssa Kinney. Kyle Munjin Ing. Gloria Tiffany Betancourt. Alicia Dolberry. Rima Tahir Ahmad. Lauren Elizabeth Cork. Jasmine Esquivel. Ronak Darshan Shaif. Chandini Parag Thakur. Ada Banabi Azari. Morenica Samoye. Rachel Ann Wallison. Barbara Catherine Bischoff Gusti. Rosita Asmaun. Nita Vakili. E. Thing. Angie Ga Lee. Vi Tu Dam. Brianna Michelle Johnson. Mathili Vishari. Nara Sabag. Laura Longan Scruggs. Sruthi Sanjay Gokale. Sisitha Melinda. Saki Bashir. Shraddha Somani. Ruta Lile. Sanya Jane. Ruchika Chabia. And this completes the awarding of the degree Master of Architecture. We now present the candidates for the Master of Urban and Regional Planning. Jin E.O. Charlotte Ramos Stottleman. Marin Rebecca Wells. Brian Christopher Xiang. Martin Lamar Figueroa. Hina Chanchalani. Jacqueline Lily Garcia. Alexander Okashita. Alexander Caro.
We present the candidates for the Master of Landscape Architecture. Justin Stephen DeVesta.
Pamela Tang.
Christopher Carrillo.
Yvette Anwar Shinoda.
Niha Lokande Janve.
Serena Grace Liu.
Jingwei Zhou.
Andrew Cow.
Di Liu.
And this completes the awarding of the degree Master of Urban and Regional Planning.
Yi Li. This completes the awarding of the degree Master of Landscape Architecture. We now present the candidates for the Master of Science in Regenerative Studies. Sylvia Adanelli Lopez. Stephanie Lynn Gebhardt. Norma Marlene Saldana Lopez. David Christopher Banuelas. Evan Arthur Green. This completes the awarding of the degree Master of Science in Regenerative Studies.
Will the candidates for the degrees of Bachelor of Architecture, Bachelor of Art, Bachelor of Art in Art History, Bachelor of Fine Art in Graphic Design, Bachelor of Science in Landscape Architecture, and Bachelor of Science in Urban and Regional Planning, please rise. President Coley, I present to you the 2018 candidates for the baccalaureate degree from the College of Environmental Design. These candidates have completed the requirements for the baccalaureate degree as prescribed by the state of California and the trustees of the California State University, and they have been recommended for their degrees by the faculty of California State Polytechnic University, Pomona.
Candidates for the baccalaureate degree, you have heard the recommendation of the faculty of California State Polytechnic University, Pomona. By the authority vested in me as president, I confer on you the degree of Bachelor of Architecture, Bachelor of Art in Art History, Bachelor of Fine Art in Graphic Design, Bachelor of Science in Landscape Architecture, and Bachelor of Science in Urban and Regional Planning with all the rights, honors, and responsibilities appertaining thereto. Now, in academic tradition, the student who has not yet earned a degree wears the tassel on the mortarboard on the right side. When the degree is conferred, the scholar moves the tassel to the left and joins a select company. In recognition of your new status, will all the recipients of the baccalaureate degree move your tassel to the left? Congratulations.
Members of the class of 2018, I commend you for your effort and accomplishments. Please be seated until you are directed to the stage to receive your diploma cover.
We now present the candidates for the degree Bachelor of Architecture. Charisse Manukian, Wei Tu Wong, Andrea Rocha, Carmel Perez Luminarias, Marla Cardos, Carla Arlise Markuglu, Jocelyn Lopez, Michael Ocionas Flores,
Dana Foyer, Kellogg Honors.
Dominic Paul Aliati,
Priyanka Kutapa.
Aaron Lee,
Stephanie Keebing Cortez.
Sanaz Koshinjar,
Maya Reyes.
Miguel Angel Heeman Jr.,
Anya Budzinskaya, cum laude.
Trevor Watson Kaufman,
Joyce Arbarsosa.
Carl Glenn Catchell, magna cum laude,
Socrates Medina, magna cum laude.
Katharina Sandra Piszczyk,
Kaylee Z. Ryan.
Eric Matthew Kolobong,
Chuck Nguyen.
John Edward Bush III,
Zaira Celeste Hernandez.
Madonna Soleil cum laude,
Jennifer Ree.
Veronica Cruz Fernandez,
Brenda Marlene Alonso.
Grace Liu,
Eduardo Espinosa.
Hiba Motaz Charek,
Osvaldo Gutierrez Munoz.
Josue Daniel Soma,
Brian Trinidad Nieves, magna cum laude.
Adalberto Ramirez,
Yunha Choi, magna cum laude.
Brian Abraham Vasquez,
Mario Barrientos.
Danella Azul Valencia,
Justina Yusuf.
Francisco Javier Trejo,
Kochagon Nigam Nitmitum.
Yan Ji Wong,
Juan Carlos de Robles.
Matthew Bartolome Garrido,
Samuel Rubio.
Sally Angela Wynn cum laude,
David Asensio.
Rolando Edward Correa cum laude,
Jad Fayez Oseran. Stephen Sequoia.
Linda Perez,
Eric Tan, magna cum laude.
Yaan Long,
Javier Correa. Daniel James Bowman. Kenya Quintos Morales. Ahmad Saeed Abdallah. Tyler Thane. Blake Thomas Stavros.
Naftali Hernandez Jr. cum laude, Matthew Austin Mace, Nathan M. Spencer magna cum laude, Neil A. Abushan,
Vicky Fang, summa cum laude.
Manuel de Jesus Arrujo Zavala,
Laura Juarez Sanchez, cum laude.
Daria Sofia Wheeler,
Tiffany Villafranca. Brett Julian Apurio Arauz, cum laude. Jesse Cow. Natalie Tran. Aisa Catherine McReynolds, cum laude. Danielle Christine Ghiberti. Kevin John Luck. Frederick Bryant. Eduardo Adan Chavez. Kevin Torres. Kimberly Gonzalez Andrade. Kyle Michael Smith. Sierra Michael Argoyes. Christopher Michael Avila.
Emmanuel Romero,
Paisley Ryan Zeladon, cum laude.
Casey Janine Sandoval,
Christian Pham.
Nicole M. Garcia,
Kane Sanchez, cum laude.
Guadalupe de Jesus Gutierrez,
Michael James Horngren.
Megan Ann Johnson,
Jesus Alvarado.
Jasmine Janae Fennell,
Hassan Coder.
Amy Talitha Sportel, Caitlin Paige Johnson, Jocelyn Shannon Chung, Justina Bashtakur, cum laude, Kellogg Honors Scholar. Grace Eam. Robert Tuan Mendeep, magna cum laude. Dimitri Alexander Kutrulis. Adrian R. Vizu. Pedro Barrera Jr. Valerie A. Mancia. Joe Sai.
Raylina Rebecca Small.
Susie Ha.
Mariela Nunez.
Jonathan Trevor Franco. Ryan Tran.
Maria de Lourdes Munoz.
Lin Hong Lam.
John Philip Miranda.
Patrick Chow Fong.
Judy Abigail Leon.
Chia Cho.
Samantha Matarazzo Rosette.
Wing T. Bonnie Lee. Andres Arturo Talamante.
Victoria de la Marie Solis.
Javier Tavares.
Edris Morel.
Alfred Kevin Sanchez.
Natasha Mayans.
Nathaniel Sean Blaza.
Sean Anthony Oyama.
Humberto Daniel Icutarte.
Joshua Baltazar Mora Jr.
Ronnie Jesse Medina.
Emily Grace Blust.
David Christopher Barnes, cum laude.
Kylie Trinidad.
Jordan Gabriel Cicerelli.
Corina Jesse Cervantes.
Megan T. Keogh.
Hannah Janae Veers, magna cum laude.
Katie Vuong.
Janelle Pham, cum laude.
Victor Alejandro Rosales.
Miria Grace Gutierrez.
Kevin Dan Nguyen.
Brandon Matthew Busante.
Danielle Nicole Davis.
David Jimenez.
April Liu. Raymond Adriel Ortega.
Germaine Gallegos, cum laude.
Raymond Andrew Marquez.
Stephen Patrick Barron.
Jillian Alexandra Bosek, cum laude.
Jesse Joseph Rodriguez, cum laude. Leonardo Chow. Douglas Nathan Leon.
Dikran Hakap Matavesian, cum laude.
Antonio Ivan Andrade.
Pablo Nava.
Gilberto Sandoval.
Jasmine Marissa Perkle.
Francisco Escalante.
Clarissa Yolanda Esparza.
Noel Sadsad.
Noah Elias Osornio, cum laude.
Hugo Martinez. Amber Sarah Pegambari. Loy Lien. Jeremy Rubik. Jade Rose Molina. Marina Megaya. Ginger Thigh. Danielle Nicole Labrado. Alexandra Vasquez. Alyssa Marie Legaspi, cum laude.
And that completes the awarding of the degree Bachelor of Art, Bachelor of Art in Art History, and Bachelor of Fine Art in Graphic Design. We now present the candidates for the degree Bachelor of Science in Landscape Architecture. Ivan Ochoa.
Galina Novikova.
Jesus Aguirre.
Bin Nakatani, cum laude.
Bessie Liliana Barahona.
Don Wang.
Mariana Aguirre.
Ho-Sun Chow.
Rosal Lupita Ramirez.
Hyunji Kim, magna cum laude.
Rosa Maria Mendoza.
Dan Ching Sun, cum laude.
Carlos Rampula.
Colin Ing.
Jasmine Camille Aslao.
Cheryl B. Herbal.
Roberto Cervantes.
Alvin Alvarez Jr.
Stephanie Cruz. Melissa Ann Johnson. Fernanda Ariel Suarez. Gustavo Coronilla. Narmeen Abadawood. Jose Roman Devora. Amy Chen. Eric Charles Hunter. Leo M. Rios. Ruben Rodriguez. Ghulam Abbas Husani, Rogelio Nunez, Alexis Rendon, Michael Yu, Diego Ishmael Vasquez, Christopher Timothy Valenzuela, Ernesto Gonzalez Jr., Pablo Hinojosa, Kenneth Jerome Rogers, Gerardo Rosales Jr. And that completes the awarding of the degree Bachelor of Science in Landscape Architecture. We now present the candidates for the degree Bachelor of Science in Urban and Regional Planning. Gabriel Anthony Lozano,
Martin Mendez,
Angeli Mar Carmen Biadora Panalba,
Matthew Bissell,
Camila Tosi Martinez,
Vajiang Nam,
J. Ellen Riddle,
Daniel Paul Leggett,
Macy Tao,
Francisco Ojeda,
Elizabeth Jaimes,
Ronald Paul Vargas,
Marcos David Molina,
Sebastian Barrios,
Ariana Ruiz,
Eric Marroquin,
Gloria Gutierrez,
Raul Aguirre II,
Luis Fernando Rubacalaba, cum laude McNair Scholar,
Sergio Hernandez, Angela Yu, Moxie Tang, Ignacio Alcaraz, Kevin Yan, Jonathan Joseph Sanchez, Jason Allen Martin, Oscar Hernandez, Hussein Mohammed Farhat, Jerry Gutierrez, Javier Jose Barrientos, Austin Fung, magna cum laude, James Andre Jimenez, cum laude, Ryan Scott Shepard, summa cum laude, Courtney Kukisi, magna cum laude.
and that completes the awarding of the degree Bachelor of Science in Urban and Regional Planning.
Well, we've done a lot of business here. Will the entire class of 2018 please rise? The entire class of 2018. Audience, please join me in congratulating the College of Environmental Design class of 2018. Thank you. Please be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, this brings our commencement exercise to an end. We've seen the passage, a rite of passage for members of the class of 2018. Let's wish them well. Now you can go home and watch the Tony Awards or Westworld or whatever it is you're going to do to celebrate. At the conclusion, we ask that members of the audience remain seated during the recessional. At the conclusion of the faculty recessional, our 2018 commencement will be officially concluded. Thank you all for joining us tonight.